When I was in high school, I had a headmaster who always stood at the assembly every Monday morning and said, "The measure of a man is not how tall he stands or measured by the height of his limbs." How true is that statement? Let us discover in today's lesson. Thank you so much for being here once again. Let's dive right in. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you are attending class. My name is Loy Kwagala. I'm your image expert. And as always, we tackle the issues of life concerning our personal images from the inside out. There are statements that are made. For example, you are tall, you are short, you are big, you are small. Those are measures seen by the eyes, but do those measures determine the truth of who you are? For example, I am not a tall person, but if we were to lobby for a job and I went against a tall person, who do you think would be given the job by just looking at them? Of course, the marketplace biases a shorter person because they think a tall person will command respect and they're just tall and probably everything about them is like that or represents that way. When you're a shorter person, there are many chances that you're not going to get as many opportunities like a taller person. But what is the measure of a man? That is what I want us to talk about today and to learn. Don't forget to like the video, comment whatever you think about the subject today, subscribe and click on that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any lesson. The measure of a man, like I started, is not by the height of his limbs. That I learned from my headmaster in high school. Because he wasn't a tall man himself. Sometimes we thought maybe he's using it in defense, but no. When later he told us what the measure of a man is, we completely understood, and I personally agreed with him up to today. It is more than a decade and a half ago, and I know he is right. It's not how tall you stand or the height of your limbs. It is not how you stand or where you stand in your good times, in your comfort zone and at your convenience. That is not the measure of a man. What is the measure of a man? First thing, the measure of a man is the height of this part of your body. Did you think about that? Did you see that coming? The height of your brain. That is the measure of a man, one of the measures of a man. Not ultimately, but one of them. When you have a straight mind, when you think great, when you put your brain to work, to go against the expectations of the people, the normal standards of human beings, and choose to be a little more than what they expect, which is excellence, that is the measure of a man. It doesn't matter if you're physically short, considered short, or considered tall, because it can be the opposite. Your brain has to always be in the right place, meaning that you always have to be thinking great, coming up with those wonderful ideas, performing well. You have to enrich your mind every day by reading, studying what concerns you, not what doesn't concern you. What is going to concern and grow you in terms of your career or profession, in terms of whatever you're doing, if you're a parent at the time, if you're a student at the time, if you are pursuing anything, for your success at the time, spiritual life at the time. Pursue to enrich your brain and your mind in that area. That will show you and show the world that you are actually taller than the height or just the height of your limbs. The second thing that shows the measure of a man is how they behave during the hard times and when it's not convenient. The hard times can be personal, mostly, yeah? You've lost somebody, you lost a job. Let's consider all the losses we go through in our lives, yeah? And then the other thing that can be a tough time is the external things, like the economics of this world, where you don't have control. Okay, how you behave there shows your measure. Are you going to throw tantrums around and complain and blame shift, not take responsibility for your own, actions or words? Is that what you're gonna do? Then that's gonna make you, you know what I mean, without even saying. How tall do you want to stand when it's not convenient? Your behavior and your words give you that determinant, give you that height, give you that measure. I always say throughout that we need to be careful what we speak. We need to be careful what you do. Because in turn, what you say is going to become what you do. What did you put into your mind? When you want to be taller than your height physically, then you need to choose a positive reaction, positive words every time you are faced by a turmoil or challenging situation, and when it's not convenient. Even if the inconvenience has been caused by external factors, friends, family, work, you know, the economics of this world, current affairs, or the status of the country at the moment, it doesn't matter. You have to always choose positivity. That will show that you're actually tall, not tall, okay? The third and last measure of a man is actually what you bear in your heart. The measure of a man is not how tall he stands, I'll say that again, but what you bear in your heart. Is your heart pure? What are the motives that are birthed from your heart? Why do you do what you do? Why do you say what you say? That is when you need to think twice and say, really, is it for the good of somebody else or myself? Or do I want to hurt myself and other people? Sometimes you don't even intend to hurt yourself because we always put ourselves outside of the consequences of what we do, isn't it? You're always thinking, it's for them, I'm gonna do it for them, they'll see me, they'll feel it. But you forget that it goes around and comes back to you, double measure shaken together, overflowing, 100-fold back to you. Keep purity in your heart. Let your motives be pure. Do not seek to hurt yourself in turn. Even if you're thinking it's about somebody else, don't. Because your image is going to be tarnished by small little things that you could have avoided in the first place. So let me just give us a recap before I wind up this class. We have to consider so many things, but just 3 important things. When you're looking at yourself, if you're not endowed naturally by God to be a physically tall person, don't feel bad about it. It's not that which measures who you are. The height of a man is not measured by the length of the height of his limbs. No, it's not. The height of your brain is 1. 2, how you stand when you are faced by turmoils or challenging situations and inconveniences. That will determine your measure. And the third and last thing, what you bear in your heart. So don't forget, the measure of a man is not how tall he stands, but the 3 things that I have just described. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Join the class. It's free lifetime membership. You don't have to pay nowhere, you just have to do this. Subscribe, click on the the video, comment, and that notification bell. Just click on it. It will always ring when the new class shows up. Every week we have a new lesson. And from wherever you're watching, I am grateful. Continue being a student of life. Until next week, cheers and bye.